In this video, I'm going to share with you the brand new strategy that I've just developed to turn one piece of content into 10, okay? If you don't know who I am, my name's Jacob. Over the last few years, I've built up my personal brand from the ground up since about 2018, and we've been able to sell millions of dollars of information products, courses, coaching, consulting, live and virtual events, affiliate products, high-ticket affiliate products, and this is all through a personal brand, okay? And like 95% of that has been done organically through content creation. Okay, so we've just revised a brand new content repurposing, content distribution approach, which I'm excited to share with you. We're implementing, and it's going to unlock a lot of new traffic and lead generation opportunities for the business. And so hopefully, if you're a coach, consultant, information marketer, you can go and take these and get your content out into more places, generate more leads, and ultimately make more money. Okay, if this is your first time here and you haven't subscribed already, be sure to click that big red button. If you get value from this video, give it a like. It would be much appreciated. It really helps with the algorithm and getting more people to see this content. If at any point throughout this video or after you watch it, you want to know more about what we do and how we might be able to help you make more money with your personal brand and with your information business, head over to www.jacobcaris.com. There'll be a link in the description and you can join my free private community, join our email newsletter. You can check out my blog. You can look at some of the courses we have. You can get information about my inner circle where I work with a few people really closely on this, all kinds of good stuff over there. So you can head over to the website. Okay, but with that all said, that all out of the way, I want to jump into the computer with you and I'm going to share with you this new strategy to turn one piece of content into 10. Let's do it. All right, folks, let's get right into it. Okay, so I just created this little model so you can see exactly what I'm talking about here. And then I'm going to show you the individual components of it, show you how and where it's repurposed and all that kind of stuff. Right now, I'm going to put my hand up and say, this is brand new for us. Okay, I was actually a little bit hesitant about putting it out because it's not fully dialed in. But at the same time, I want to share with you the stuff that we're doing in real time so that you can take it and use it and get benefit from it as well. Okay, honestly, within our own business, this is long overdue, getting content out into more places, but you know, we've been doing pretty well without it. So this will just be more fuel on the fire. Okay, so first things first, the thing that this is all built around is that basically every day, right, I write content. Okay, I've tried to not, and I always come back to writing somewhere between 200 and 600 words a day. It's what I do, and for the most part, I've done it since 2018, and I enjoy it. And historically, the main places that it's been distributed is my group and email, and it was time to take that up a notch. Okay, and still working out the kinks. All right, I'll try not to repeat that too many times, but I want to show you guys how we're planning to get more juice out of that content. All right, so what it starts with is every day, every other day, however frequently it ends up happening, we'll write a piece of content that our audience will be interested in, or hopefully interested in, okay? And as I said, this could be anywhere from 200 to 600 words, okay? I'll show you an example of that in a second, and in particular, how we create a couple of versions of it, depending on where it's ultimately going to go, okay? So the first thing is it starts with writing a piece of content. Then the new thing that I've been adding is after I finish writing it, I'll grab my phone and I'll go into the voice memo section, and you can see here, these voice memos, right? You can see it from the last, nine or so days. All I'm doing there is kind of adding like a little audiobook version or like a director's commentary, if you will. I'll simply hit record. I'll have the written piece of content in front of me. I'm not going to read it verbatim, but what it allows me to do is talk to the piece of content for the people that want to consume on the go with audio, right? And so using the same raw, content idea, now we can create a whole nother world of options and opportunity to allow people to consume our stuff. Okay, if you haven't seen a lot of my stuff, I would encourage you to go watch a few other videos, and you'll start to understand how this content ecosystem is so critical to selling and making our life easier when it comes to selling. And so the more time we can spend with our prospects in the content part of the business, the easier the sales process will ultimately become. All right, check out some other videos. You'll get a feel if you're new to the channel. Okay, so that's why that sits at the middle. You need like a daily idea, or if you're going to do this every second day, like a couple times a week, an idea, and then write your piece of content around that, and then I'm creating an accompanying voice memo, and I'm going to show you where and how that's going, because we're doing some cool stuff that's not just like a podcast. All right, so that's the fundamental of it. All right, then you can see all these places around the edge email, and I've written text, social, text plus audio, because the version of it that we use is going to vary depending on the platform. And this may sound a little bit complex. It'll be really, really simple. I'm going to show you in a second. Okay. So email, Facebook group, Substack, Medium, blog, Anchor, YouTube community, Facebook profile, LinkedIn, Twitter, right? There's a lot of places that we can spin this with a little bit of work in each place, okay? So the first thing I want to show you is the actual written piece of content. I'm going to pull up an example here. You can see I name the file the relevant date. That's so that my team knows they can come in here and pick that up for the day, and that's the day that it's going to get distributed. I'll give you a behind the scenes of the SOP in a second so you can get a feel for that. All right, and so here's an example for one that's going to go out on the 18th, the fun zone for information business owners. I have this concept that I've actually been getting clarity around lately, which is, as it says, the fun zone for people who coach and consult, and how to really dial in and focus on simplicity, fun, profits, and growth within their business. Okay, and so this is the first thing I'll do is I'll come in and I'll write this piece of content. So you can see here, just really, standard piece of written content, blah, 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 down to the end. And then this is a PS thing that we use in a couple of different places. And I can talk to you about that in a second. Once I've written it, what I'll do for this text distribution version, which if we come back to our little chart here, is email, Substack, Medium, and the blog. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to link off to a few different places, right? So it might link off to my website. It could link off to other places within the ecosystem. It could link off to the group, to YouTube. It might link off. So for example, here where we use the word offer, I've got a training about how to create killer offers. If it's about continuity, I might send them over to the inner circle where we help people do that. So I'm going to utilize the opportunity to link people off to different parts of the world so that they can kind of go on a little bit of a choose your own adventure and consume different stuff, maybe buy something, and we accelerate our relationship together as they kind of go through these different, rabbit holes within the business. Okay. So that's the first version, is the text distribution version, which I just showed you kind of how and where that'll get distributed. The cool thing is the team can just come in here and go copy paste, and they can drop it onto somewhere like Medium. All those links are going to stay intact, which is really cool because then people will read and they can kind of go off into different places. Then what I'll do, once I'm happy with that piece of content, is I'll copy the whole thing and I'll put it down here in this social media version. Now, social media is a bit different, right? You don't use links in that same way, and you want to change up the call to action. So what I'll do is I'll paste it and then quickly go through and remove the links and tweak up the CTA, right? So you could see in this first version where the, we're here to help when the time is right. And then I had a link to my website. For the social version, we're here to help. There's a duplicate there. We're here to help when the time is right for you, right? So I just get rid of the link. Okay. So they're just tweaking it up to make sure that it's native for the relevant platform. Once I've got this, that's when I'll jump in and do the accompanying voice memo, and then it will end up in a folder for the team, new to be completed, for a relevant day, and they'll see the doc, which has these two versions of text in it, and they'll see the accompanying audio. Okay. Now what I've armed my team with is this SOP here, which walks through, okay, well, with those two files, what do we want to do, right? And I'll just walk you through this quickly, but you can see we've got the text distribution, Substack, Kajabi, Medium, and you can see there's two things under each of these. One, there's a loom, which is me walking through the process, and two, there's the written steps that they need to follow and the time that I want it scheduled. So they should be able to pick this up. Anyone should be able to pick this up and just follow the steps and go and do it. Okay, the time invested to build an SOP like this, it might be a bit annoying on the front end, but once it's done, I'm now going to be able to turn one piece of content into 10 completely hands off. All I have to do is create it, put it on Drive, and boom, it's done, which to me is really, really cool. Right? I'm all about the leverage, the asset building. So this is just taking that to a whole new level. Right? We can keep scrolling down. You can see the same for YouTube community, for LinkedIn, for Twitter, for Anchor, to distribute it. Pretty cool stuff. So that's the direction that I give them. It's just stepping out how to do it. Okay. So now that we've got these two core pieces of content for a given day, we've created them, the different versions, and they're in Drive. Now the team just goes out and schedules them, right? So I just wanted to run you through a couple of examples just so you can see, right? So here's a piece of content that I did, client banks 12K in 12 days. Here's how we do it, right? And then this is an email. Okay, so you can see the email version, that'll be the text version written with the links, and then that PS that you saw
before. The reason we include this PS is just to send people off to other places. So they might read an email and then be like, oh, that's interesting. What else has Jacob got? So you can see how this is all engineered to move people around the ecosystem, right? This is some links off to different offers. People can apply to work with me, join coaching, all that kind of cool stuff. Here's an example of that same piece of content in my Facebook group using the social version, right? So we tweak up the CTA, remove the links, and make a more Facebook native version, right? Here it is on Substack, which is a really cool platform that I've only recently started using. But what you can see in here is we've got the text version, right? Where we've got the link down here, and we'll be linking in the text more going forward. But we can also integrate the audio. So people can read, they can listen to the audio on the go, they can get that kind of multi-level experience here, right? We can also take it and turn it into a tweet, right? So you can take the tweet and then spread it out and turn it into a thread, which is really cool, right? You can see the same thing here on Medium. This is just going to be the text, and then the social version on LinkedIn. You can see it over here on the blog. This is the text plus the audio for the people that want to follow along on the blog. And then you can see the podcast gets distributed as well. So that goes on Spotify, it goes on Apple Podcasts, all that kind of stuff. All right, that was a lot, but I wanted to show you how very rapidly you can go from that one initial written piece of content and boom, get it out into a lot of different places, in text versions, in social versions, and in audio versions. You've got some standalone text, you've got some text plus audio, you've got the social stuff. And where I think this will be really cool is not in a week's time, not in a month's time, but give it 3 months, give it 6 months, give it 12 months. The compounding effect of all of these pieces of content out there, especially this version here with all of the links to different parts of the ecosystem and to different offers, that's creating such a deep experience that people can go through to find out more and learn more and buy stuff, that I just think it's going to take this ecosystem model to a whole new level. Okay, so hopefully there's something in that for you. If you want help with this, you can hit the team up. You can head to jacobkarras.com. We can help you implement something like this within your business. But go out there and make sure you're squeezing as much juice as possible out of your content, because it can unlock new lead generation opportunities, new audience building opportunities, a lot of profit opportunities, and hopefully this model helps you out a bit. Appreciate you hanging out with me. Have a great day. Cheers.